Good evening. I'm Michael Ang, and you're watching the Manila Times News Prime. Let's dive straight into today's biggest stories. Emong has intensified into a typhoon as it continued to move slowly over the West Philippine Sea before making landfall in Ilocos Sur or La Union. According to Pag-asa, signal number 3 remained over the northern portion of Pangasinan and the western portion of La Union. Signal number 2 is up over Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, the rest of La Union, the western portion of Apayao, Abra, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Benguet, the central portion of Pangasinan, and the western portion of Nueva Vizcaya. Under signal number 1 are Batanes, Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, the western and central portions of Isabela, and the rest of Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, the rest of Apayao, the rest of Pangasinan, the northern and central portions of Zambales, Tarlac, and the western and central portions of Nueva Ecija. In relation to this, several cities and towns have declared a state of calamity due to nonstop rains, flooding, and landslides brought by the tropical storms and monsoon rains. Quezon City, Manila, and Cavite have earlier declared a state of calamity. Malabon followed suit. The declaration is intended to fast-track the release of calamity funds and ensure the immediate delivery of aid to affected communities. In response to this, the Government Service Insurance System, or GSIS, has activated its emergency loan program for members and pensioners affected by the tropical storms and Habagat. GSIS is extending its financial assistance to 4 areas that officially declared a state of calamity. Eligible individuals in Cavite, Quezon City, Umingan in Pangasinan, and Kalumpit in Bulacan can now apply for the loan. Members can loan up to 40,000 pesos with existing emergency loans and 20,000 pesos for first-time borrowers. The loan carries an annual interest rate of 6% and is payable over 3 years. The loan application period is open until August 23 for residents of Umingan and Kalumpit and until October 23 of this year for those in Cavite and Quezon City. Furthermore, the Transportation Department launched its first ever Libreng Sakay or Free Rides program in Mindanao. DOTR is offering free bus rides to over 6,000 commuters traveling along Lasang Rojas roads via Sasa route in Davao City. The initiative, in partnership with LTFRB, aims to ease the daily burden of rising transport costs, particularly to senior citizens, students, and low-income commuters. The Libreng Sakay in Davao will run until year 2028. On the other hand, in the private sector, ride-hailing app Grab and delivery service MoveIt have teamed up with local government and agencies for the distribution of relief aid and community support in affected areas. Grab and MoveIt also reactivated their Grab Care and MoveIt Malasakit programs to extend financial and welfare support to affected driver and rider partners. Key assistance includes a one-time financial grant provided to eligible partners whose vehicles, cars, or motorcycles have been damaged as a direct result of the typhoon and severe flooding. In partnership with Coco Life, Grab would be covering emergency room and hospitalization expenses due to typhoon-related incidents at accredited hospitals. On to another story. President Bongbong Marcos, along with DSWD, visited families at the evacuation center in San Mateo, Rizal. At the Mali Elementary School and Santa Ana Barangay Hall covered court evacuation centers, President Marcos Jr. and Secretary Gatchalian handed out family food packs and essential supplies to evacuees. The visit was also joined by Health Secretary Chodora Herbosa and Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. Furthermore, Marcos has ordered the deployment of medical teams to evacuation sites across the country. The president issued a directive after he visited the evacuation centers in San Mateo, Rizal, and expressed concerns about the overcrowding and the risk of disease outbreaks. In addition to this, Marcos also assured the public that the government will prioritize safety during weather disturbances. In his arrival statement following his 3-day official visit to the United States, Marcos said that various government agencies and local government units continues to conduct rescue and relief operations to ensure that families receive the support they need. Moreover, the Department of Health has ordered a price freeze on essential medicines as cities around the countries declared a state of calamity due to monsoon rains. A total of 148 medicines are on price freeze. Among the medicines covered are those commonly used for treating fever, infections, hypertension, diabetes, asthma, and other life threatening conditions. Under the guidelines, the price freeze will remain in effect for 60 days from the date a locality is placed under a state of calamity. The measure is aimed at preventing overpricing and hoarding of critical medicines during emergencies such as typhoons, floods, and other natural disasters. That's all for now. Thanks for spending your evening with us. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow the Manila Times on all social media platforms. I'm Michael Ang, and you've been watching the Manila Times News Prime. Stay informed, and we'll catch you here same time tomorrow. Good night.